Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Okay. Um Figured I'd just mention this for the hell of it. Things changed around. I don't think everybody's known this, but I'm part of a new channel called Anime Nerds One. So because of this new channel that I'm with all these other guys in it, I now do like 2 reviews of Bleach at this, one after another, and Fairy Tail. But that's what basically is going on. Anyway, moving right along. Speaking of Bleach, I did the review with these guys for Bleach, and I uploaded it. Now it's time for my review, personal one. Okay, this was 498. This one was called The Black Rescuer. Basically, what happened in this chapter, you got Akan. He's the guy from the division, the research and development, 12 squad, research and development. And they're trying to find Ichigo, and he's saying, the badge is in the material world, but Ichigo isn't. So they're tracing the spiritual particles. And they find out, obviously, that the spiritual particles are in HUECO MUNDO. Lead to HUECO MUNDO. Doesn't make sense. They were thinking, where's the spiritual badges in the material world? And they find out that Urahara's with him. So they decide to find a way, they decide to call Urahara, KISUKE. They connect us. They connect us to KISUKE. He says, yes, sir. And then it says, Black Rescuer. And it says, beep, beep, beep. He goes, SOS. And then we get some interesting dialogue with KISUKE and Akan. He's like, oh, hi there, Akan-san. It's been a while. How are things going? And he's like, things are well. Oh, you deaf or something? He's like saying, we're in the middle of an emergency. Was it about you? Put him on. Smoking his usual face. They're saying, and so on and so forth. And he's like, Kurosaki-kun, sorry, no can do, he's telling him. And he's like, why not? And he's telling him, right now, Kurosaki-kun is doing Saki-san. I said kun? Ah, my bad. Kurosaki-san saying he's doing battle with Quincy, who captained a hunting squad, HUECO MUNDO. In HUECO MUNDO, what's going on? So, basically, this instance is basically telling us they have no fucking idea that the Quincy's are in HUECO MUNDO. So they got totally stumped, totally flustered about it. Like, holy shit. They're in HUECO MUNDO. So that's what Akan's basically saying. He says, Quincy's are even in HUECO MUNDO. Then we could possible. They basically, Akan's basically suggesting, and then he's like saying that, Ichigo was really fast on the uptake, saying that he went to HUECO MUNDO and confronted the Quincy's anyway. And he says, oh, I heard rumors, but I never knew he was this unpredictable of a man. And then he tells, Akan's asking KISUKE, how's the battle going between these two? And he says, right now they're on equal footing. No. Kurosaki-san's pushing him back. And we get a scene then with Kurige and the Bankai, stealing of Ichigo's Bankai. And he finds out that with his fucking stupid medallion that he can't steal Ichigo's Bankai. Now, what that relates to be is that he can't steal it. And he's like, so it didn't work after all, Kurige saying, so on and so forth. And it says, the enemy seems to want to steal Ichigo-san's Bankai somehow, but it doesn't seem to be working on him, so the enemy's having trouble. And then everyone is like unbelievably shocked that it's not working. So basically that's what's going down in this chapter. So Kuge is totally flustered because he can't steal Ichigo's Bankai. Akan can't believe what's going on here. He can't believe that, oh, Ichigo's Bankai is not being stolen here. And then we get, and that's what's basically going. So it says, and then I think Kisuke is talking to somebody. He says, don't be silly. This isn't the sort of build that I can just walk into. Well, actually, no, he's not. He's talking to Pesce and Dondo Chaka. And says he can't just jump in there. And then Okan's saying, oh, you know how powerful the enemy is, correct? I know there are intruders in Soul Society. If you're a Kanakaminawa, then it must be quite bad. I'll return to my first question. How are things going over there? So he's asking Okan that. And then Kuge is like, mind. He's doing his own little monologue in his mind saying, how come I can't metalize? He calls it medalize his Bankai, which has to refer to the medallion, so on and so forth. And saying that he can't do it, and he says, but that was all. So why I used you to absorb that monster? How could he still be suppressing rays? Like, he just doesn't understand how Ichigo's able to do all to push him back. And then he throws these fucking arrows at him with his sword. He creates these arrows with his sword, Kuge. And he shoots him at Ichigo. And Ichigo just swats them. And he's like, Ichigo's like standing there. And he's like, the guy I met before also tried to steal my Bankai. How come you guys can steal Bankais? Conceal Bankais? And then Kuge's like, I have no reason to answer that question. And then he's doing more monologuing, Kuge, saying, not just attack power, his speeds, that's the problem. And then he's stating about his blunt Vin. And saying that he has to keep his... Blunt Vin is basically... I don't know exactly what it is, but I believe it has something to do with the arteries. At least that's what I think I've heard from other reviewers. It has something to do with the arteries. Because when you figure blunt, it's actually blood. It's supposed to mean blood coat. So that's what they're entailing to. Now, what ends on happening is, he's telling himself that he needs to, because he says, but with my blunt Vin at full power, I can't switch over to my blunt artery. So yeah, it has to do with the arteries and blood and all this other stuff. That's what this defense is, which I find very interesting. It's interesting that that's what it is. And he's saying, and attacking without blunt artery is useless against someone in Bankai mode. And he's like saying to himself, should I ask for backup? No, if I do that, could it be? And then Ichigo's saying, could it be that you're afraid of Bankai? And then he goes for being like a big ass villain, Kuge, to saying, oh, like a little kid saying, that is not the case. We fear nothing. Ooh, I'm gonna complain like a little bitch. So obviously, the thing about it is that the artery thing and the blunt thing, the blunt Vin, which is blood coat, and the artery thing, I think one combats against speed and one combats against attack. At least that's what I'm getting at. There's a whole explanation there. And then he's like, oh, it's not the case. We're fear nothing. And nothing. Blast from Kisuke. And then Kisuke's there, and he's just like standing there. He obviously did a keto. Now, here's the funny thing about that. He did a keto against Kurge and went right through him. It hit him on contact. That's what I find interesting about this. So, just Kisuke's just standing there and he's thank you very much. Because of your help, Kurosaki-san, the enemy spirit particles collapsed and I was able to land a critical hit. And he's like, Urahara. And then he hands Ichigo the phone. It was just weird, him with the phone. And then he's like, we have an emergency. Head to the Soul Society at once. Hurry, Ichigo. And then he opens the Senkai gate? Huh. Okay. I'll explain that later in this video. So he opens the Senkai gate. Please listen to the details from Okan-san as you proceed. So he says, please, and he's telling Ichigo, is this Ichigo Kurosaki, Okan saying, please listen and don't despair. So that's pretty much what happened. Now, you guys are probably wondering why I made that face. Senkai gate? And this is why. And I'm going to give this, I wanted to give this a 4. Going to give it a 3.5. It was nicely, I liked the pacing. The pacing was pretty damn good. Liked where this was going. Liked how everything was positioned and where it ended. The reason why I make this face Senkai gate is because of this. Aizen had to go through the Garganta to get to the fake Karakura Town. Why is it that Kisuke just said, Senkai, go through the Senkai gate? Don't you think Isaac would have done that? And he would have went straight. He didn't even have to fight them. He wouldn't have to even fight the Soul Reapers in the fake Karakura Town. He would have went right straight to the Soul Society and find the real Karakura Town. That totally got me confused. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but you know, I just thought that was just weird. I guess obviously the obvious solution to that question is this. Kisuke is the man. At least that's what I see. 3.5 out of 5. It was a good chapter. It was good. Not great. It was good. I liked the way it was. The pacing was good. The way it ended was good. The way it's set up, the way this whole thing went down, was pretty damn good. So, going further for this, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think things are gonna get interesting now. Next week we might get something interesting. Remember, after next week we got the 500 chapter. So you're gonna get some really good shit in that 500 chapter. So. Probably not that chapter, but the 500th chapter. I can see maybe Ichigo fighting. We'll probably get some battles in Soul Society with the Quincy's and everything. But here's the funny thing. I'm wondering, how is the Buckbeard guy, the Emperor King, how is he gonna react to this? He might pull his troops. Maybe not pull his troops, but he might say, everybody stop what you're doing, go after Ichigo Kurosaki. He might do that. Because the fact of the matter is, it seems to me like he's one of the people who might thwart their plans. At least that's why I look at it. But anyway, good solid chapter of Bleach. It was good. I liked what I saw. What did you guys think? Comments below. You know the story. I'm getting a lot of fucking subscribers. Anyway, comments below, you know the story. This is Bankai922. Go check out those other channels I have on my channel. Go check out my other channel. Go check out Anime Nerds 1. And yeah, go check out Anime Network Elite. So, this is Bankai922. I will check you guys later.